All right, we're standing by here with Coach U after the national championship game. Bruins suffer a tough loss, Coach. I know there's a lot of emotions probably going through your head right now. A lot of things that, we're going to look back as it was a great game, hard-fought contest. I guess first of all, what was the mood in the locker room, and what did you say to the guys, after what was a very hard-fought game?
Well, they were heartbroken, of course. Losing to Randall last year, it's not something I experienced not being here, but it's something that they experienced, and it's good for us sometimes in life to have a goal to shoot for, and oftentimes other people are the motivators for us. And the seniors for Randall have played in 4 straight championship games, and to take somebody with that type of championship game experience when we don't have it, and to have it come down to a last shot. So I led into that, and that's kind of what I explained to them. And then I said, I don't want you to walk out of here and look for pity from anybody, because you don't deserve pity. When you do what you're supposed to do and you play to the best of your ability and you execute the game plan, if it's not enough, it's not enough. Nobody should pity us because we don't deserve pity. There's nothing to hang our head about them. And by the end of it, we were laughing and get back to normal. I promise you, a week from now, it won't hurt as much. And a month from now, when we're at our basketball banquet, it'll hurt even less. We'll be able to have some perspective and see that this was a record-breaking year from 100 different respects. We've done things that have never been done in this program, and frankly may not be done again for a while, unfortunately. I may have set the bar a little high for myself, but that's what you do when you have seniors. You expect to be here with seniors, and we're losing 6, and that's okay. That's part of the process, and I look forward to seeing what we're going to do in the offseason and how we respond from this. And we just talked about character, and people with character respond in the right way, and people who don't have character respond in the wrong way. And being a Bruin is winning with character, which I think we've done through this winning streak. And tonight we had to lose with character. No matter what, this winning streak was going to end tonight, because this team as we know it was going to end tonight with all these seniors. And so we never did focus on the winning streak, but it would have been nice to win one. And but I was very proud of the way everybody played, and I was proud of what the seniors have done this year.
Talk about the game plan a little bit coming into this one. Randall is a team that, as you said, a lot of experienced seniors, but they have a lot of makeup like we do. They don't just rely on one guy. It's 3 or 4 guys that could really carry the load for them. So prepping for them, game planning for them, what was the strategy?
Well, one of the things that we did was, since I wasn't around, I actually went back to last year and looked at what beat us last year. And what beat us was their pressure defense. And one of the things they've done a lot this year was 1-3-1. And the 1-3-1 had got them through this tournament. Every time they needed to pull out a win in this tournament, they went to their 1-3-1. And we haven't faced 1-3-1 this year. And so that was part of our preparation. But we knew that they were going to be out in the passing lanes, that they were going to pressure, but it's really hard for us to simulate that with who our bench players are. That doesn't mean that they're not trying, but they're just not Randall's starters. And so they gave us some problems in the first half, and we took that away in the second half with how we came out of our stacks and our picks along the baseline, and we really got Quez and really all of our big guys, Quez, Jason, and Chris, all contributed down low offensively, and that was a good move in the second half, and it really paid dividends. We really wanted to go into halftime with a single-digit margin, and we were able to get it down to 8 going into half, because it had been as much as 15, I think. It had been as much as 15, and getting it down to 8 really gave us a shot to be there at the end of the game.
Can you take me through, the almost identical draw up those last couple of possessions that we had? Jason seemed to have the hot hand, was a guy that really presented a huge mismatch for them tonight.
Yeah, so we wanted to get – I always save my timeouts. I've always got people around me in the stands thinking that I should call a timeout, but when you have a senior-laden group, we've proven that they can handle those situations. I had people screaming for a timeout last night, and we ended up playing through it and needing all of our timeouts in the last minute. So we saved that last timeout for the 19 seconds left on the clock so we could get it right by our bench. We drew up the play that we wanted for, in synergy, that play is that play has garnered the most points for us from that spot on the court. And when you're at that point in the season and you're going through statistics, number one, that's the highest statistic shot we've been getting. And with the player who's had the best game, you know, that's pretty common sense to be able to go to a guy like that. And, you know, I think there was a lot of contact and all that at the end of the game, but we had a shot, and that's really all you can ask for, is to have a shot at the end of the game. No excuses.
And you speak a little bit more just to the way these guys, you mentioned it, we're down 15 at one point. I think in the second half we get down by 9. Yeah. You know, but those guys kept fighting, and just to be in a position where you have a chance to win, to tie the game and or win the game on one possession, you know, the guys just never gave up.
No, and our seniors hit some huge threes. We got defensive stops. We switched to our 3-2 matchup zone there at the end, and that really gave them a lot of problems. Trey Sneed hit a couple threes, but the penetration that they were getting, we were forced to guard them in a different way man-to-man because of all the early foul calls. I mean, it was 9 fouls to 2 early, and when it's that way, you know, we have to guard them accordingly. And again, all my helpers behind me sometimes talk about not allowing layups, but it's a little bit more difficult to do that than it looks. And I thought we did a really good job of just staying in the game with our man-to-man defense, and then going to a pack line zone when we needed to at the end, and having that be what kept the score close. So they went a couple possessions without scoring, and we went a couple possessions with scoring, and that really helped us.
As you, you know, we'll wrap up with this question, but you talked about 6 seniors. Looking back on this season, what they've meant to the program, you know, you've said it in here before, even in last night's interview, of being able to come into a new program and have these guys really help you shoulder that load of getting adjusted to the program, you know, what they meant for the program, and, you know, as we go ahead and even start looking ahead to next year.
Yeah, well, the program's so young. You know, this is just the second class to come through for all 4 years. This is the second recruiting class ever. And I believe that maybe we're ahead of the timetable for what a lot of people may think a program should be by this point. In year 5 and year 6, to be competing for national championships in basketball, which is different than some of the other sports that are offered at this level. In basketball, it takes a specific skill set, and there's far few people who can play this game at the college level. And to be able to get talents like Dustin and kind of be able to find the diamond in the rough and be able to see Dustin develop. I've mentioned several times in my interviews that Dustin has been my favorite player. He's been my favorite Bruin to watch since they started their full recruiting, and it's been incredible to watch him grow. Justin, you know, leaving and not being here for a while, but then coming back, you know, I competed against Justin. I've known Justin since high school, and to be able to see the man he's become, step up at second semester. I finally made him a captain at Christmas time, and I believe making him captain really helped. Cooper put in so much work, set the model for hard work. Robert set the model for character and hard work and servant leadership, and Matt didn't think he was going to be able to participate this year, and he was able to do that while shouldering a pretty heavy academic load. And I would be very fortunate if with this recruiting class I can first have guys with that amount of character, and second, guys with that amount of talent. And that's really honestly what I pray for. I want God to bring the recruits that He wants here, and I'll be satisfied with that. Unless the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain. And I want God to build our house as we go into the future.